Hello, hello, guides and guidettes. My name is Psi Divine, and if this is your first time visiting the channel, thank you. I appreciate your presence and your interest. My readings are a bit different than others. I use a wide variety of divination tools, and occasionally during my live readings, well, always during my live readings, I offer free readings. So please come back and check out the live free readings. And do excuse my dog who is occasionally snoring in the background. Maybe this helps you relax. Let's just dive right on in. We are reading for Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Right? So I start off these with a letter reading for you. Just a word for the month. This is reading for January of 2021. Again, for Aries, Leo, and Sag. Okay. Okay, Aries. Looks like we've got something going on here. The power keeps coming back. Things aren't coming together here. So let's see what we get. Let's just move this. Okay. And this is for Aries. Let's see what we get. Okay. Aries, we've got the Queen here. And the Queen of Swords, when she appears, this is a person. And they're honest, very in your face, forthright. They say what's on their mind. Someone experienced comes along. And this person really sticks to their old beliefs. Then we've got the Seven of Cups is in reverse here. And this person might be giving you some advice or acting without true purpose. And that act, well, it brings brings the community into a situation, your community. This could bring friends in when I say community. So it's like someone giving more than one person the wrong experience, the wrong information, bad. The sun being here. This is somebody going through something mental. Feels like for the month of January, you may be going through a situation, coming out of it, where you're dealing with someone older in your environment who doesn't shift in the way they think. They don't have any changes in the way they think. This is interesting. Now, this person isn't going anywhere, if I may put it that way. They don't have any control, truly, of themselves. They may come across as aggressive. And this person has an effect on the home life. This could be a boss. This could be a higher up, somebody who has something, if I just heard has something that you want. This could really be going into a situation where we, it's like that, not expecting the day to go a certain way and then a million things happen. Four of Wands being here. It's like dealing with freedom. The King of Cups. They can be cold, but they're diplomatic. They're wise. So it feels like while you're dealing with somebody, you may start off the month dealing with someone who you don't like. It looks like some good advice comes along here from another experienced person. And they're able to help you restore balance. Looks like a lesson to me in taking the advice of someone, which may not be something that you normally do or have to deal with too often. It's almost like someone comes in who teaches you how to battle properly, how to deal with conflict in a new way to bring balance in. Because here we've got this person who's like trying to get things into balance, and then we've got the angel here, right? We've got temperance. And we're putting things into order. We're getting things situated the way we want them to be, right? There's healing. And this is a 5, which is 2021 in a way. That's 5 also. So it looks like our luck comes from taking good advice, not from that person, the magician, who's sticking to old ways of getting things done. It's like they're not necessarily a liar. They'll put the shit right in your face that they're going to stick it to you. So it looks like from one bad older influence to one who is a little bit more relationship focused. They're a great communicator. This person is just energy, emotion. Yeah. Like they have a plan and they're going to execute it no matter what it costs. This is somebody very fixed on how they think. And this does feel like a masculine energy here. They both do. In fact, the Queen is even looking masculine to me from here. So we've got a person who like, this is how I think it should work. This is how it goes. And then we go over here to somebody who says, okay, no, this is how you deal with that person. This really seems like a big thing. It's like you get involved with someone or work for someone who expects you to behave a certain way and wait take the promises, believe the illusions, but you're in January realizing that this isn't going to work. This isn't going to work. It's becoming aware of a situation that just, it has a definitive ending to it. Because this person, at the start of the month, this energy, this person isn't going to change. Let's clarify who this person, who is the Magician? Oof. The Magician comes through as the Knight of Cups, which is somebody who can be moody, disappointed. This is somebody who is just a negative person, negative Nancy all day long. But outside to others, they might just, seem a bit on the introverted side, sensitive when spoken to, very imaginative. This might be somebody who might even have some mental issues going on. Yeah. Then the Devil comes out. This is somebody who can be harmful. I feel like we might be navigating our way out of a potentially dangerous situation. One that affects money, and we're doing it to keep the peace in the home. So it could be seeking counsel for a balance in the midst of a fight. And it can be making the steps towards avoiding a conflict, a disagreement. This could be finding balance in the midst of hassles, just... Right. So Aries, it looks like you're going through some lessons here. And again, I'll say it again, it feels like the lesson is taking good advice. Seeking good advice. Being cautious of our feelings and relationships, right? And yes, we're going to be emotional in January, but we don't have to be too emotional. We do have to make moves. I do see this here being a situation where we have to make moves. And we may have to make moves that involve leaving others behind who are afraid to make moves. This is a move being made by the self. I feel like you may even attempt to help others deal with this situation, but I don't know. Looks like you're traveling here by yourself out of this. Looks like saving ourselves, saving our home, having that be the most important thing. I feel like that's really the focus here. And out of that, and that is our luck. Okay? And here at the end, we've got 7 and we've got 2. Our priestess is gaining that sacred wisdom, putting it to use. Really legit saving yourself. And that's getting that experience, it's learning. Interesting. And that looks good. I think that looks really, really good to me, Aries. But just, stay strong at the start of January because it's going to be rocky. It's going to be rocky. But understand that this is your journey to take, so you may want to help others. I'm not going to tell you not to try, but don't be mad if don't trip too hard if you have to do this journey by yourself for the betterment of your situation so that you can have calm living, and you're aware of that. I just feel like this feels like a sudden response, like, okay, I've had enough. And you might just get tired of people. Shit. In the midst of all that's going on, how can this person still be so, addicted to chaos, addicted to stupid ideas that don't go anywhere? and they just don't know any better. They're here experiencing this element of the self, the ego, pure ego. And this is the energy that's going to give you that burst that makes you want to take control back. You want to restore control of yourself. You want freedom. You want freedom. So, looks good. Looks good. Looks like the push into a new space of strength. So bravo, Aries. All right. Let's move on to Leo. Okay, let's see what connects to this. For Leo, messages for Leo. January looks pretty serious for everyone. Okay. Okay, so we have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse here. This looks like something you thought was going to happen, not happening. Okay? It looks like something you counted on, financially speaking, doesn't come through, so we have to tighten up financially a little bit here. The Hermit reverses. So instead of looking within, we're kind of like wondering what's coming next. Trying to figure out what the next steps are. And are we going towards more empty promises? Or are we just wishful thinking on our own? This is understanding that some things that we were counting on may not be what we expected them to be. There's completion here. So we are bringing something to an end. And we might be feeling a bit victimized, taken advantage of. Okay. So we're readjusting priorities, taking a new approach to things that are being, blocked. This looks like money not coming in. This looks like we might be feeling not good with this. Ace of Wands in reverse is not having the energy to deal with a certain situation that is not good for anyone. So this time requires strength. Now, coming out of this, we're making a choice. We're making a choice based on how the situation isn't going to plan, according to plan. This really looks like money, work, finances you were expecting to come in. I see mail. So we're making a choice on trying to approach the situation differently. We want things to be right. And our Eight of Pentacles is it's like getting the inspiration for something that wasn't inspirational before. You got some different knowledge going on here. So what I feel like is it's making moves to save oneself. And we're making that move. Oof. Okay. I hope we're not making that move by not moving. You might be holding on to something that is not going to work out. Kind of like standing still, waiting on work. Our Three of Pentacles feels like conflict with a group. I just heard union. Something to do with work. They want you to do something. You don't feel good about doing it. The Empress is the feeling of having to deal with someone who's selfish. It feels like also the energy of making decisions that you feel are best for yourself, even if they have bad results. Oof. Four of Swords. This situation is stressful, bringing you to a feeling of possibly feeling just burnt the fuck out. Nine of Swords. You're reaching out for some assistance. Let me move on. Reaching out for some assistance. And it's reaching out to resources that you've already dealt with. Having to go back and forth energy. Feeling stuck. 8 and 8. Goodness. feeling stuck. You have some headaches to endure. But, let's see. Ooh. Awareness comes when you've decided to put balance into the situation. It's almost like the same reading from fucking Aries. Wow. Okay, so it feels like, it doesn't necessarily feel like going to someone for advice, like I said for Aries, but it feels like balance just comes. Balance gets restored in a situation. And it's like you're going to have to go through some stress to get there. So things are feeling very wavy here. Feels like a lot of communication that's going nowhere, not paying off. This may affect your sleep, so try not to... Gosh, how do you even... What's the right word to say? Don't lose any sleep. It's gonna be okay. Things are going to be upside down for a minute. And that's financially. Things are going to feel stagnant. And you're going to be holding on. There will be communication, but, you know. There's going to be communication, yes, about what's not being made right for you financially. I see that here. And it's an offer based on a judgment call being made by a higher up. However, at that time, when that happens, you will be in the mode of quitting, changing, feeling like you're at the edge of quitting. It feels hopeless, to be fair about it. But understand, like I'm looking at the cards here, if this resonates with you, things are going to improve. It comes from a judgment from above. So hold tight. Hold tight. Because you're going to feel like, it's going to feel like being stabbed in the back for a little while. It's going to feel like betrayal. And I ain't going to tell you it ain't. I'm not going to tell you that. This is a cycle you've been dealing with. This could be with unemployment payments, checks you expect to show up. But believe me, like, this temperance is established. Balance is created. A judgment call is made. And that judgment call that is made regards work, but you've made a choice at this point. At that point, you've made a choice. You've made a solid decision. And that decision is to move away from a working situation. You're like looking out the front door for sure. You're sleeping on it, thinking about it, getting ready to ride that horse into this change. That's where your head is at. You're holding on though. Still stressing, holding on. Feeling tied and bound to a situation. You know you want out. You know you want this move. You've heard about it coming. But you feel... yeah. There's confusion here. And all you want is to be free and normal again. But celebration comes with this balance. And somebody's bullshit. Whoever, like, would put you in this position for financial losses and this judgment that comes about brings data that makes things better. Explains a little bit. Doesn't explain all the suffering and all this annoying shit, but it gives you answers. The Chariot is here. So this is a restoration of freedom, moving towards control of self, moving past, angry and bad feelings, having a direction. Look at that. And this is a new energy, a new cycle going into it. Like, this is good. That light brings happiness. And it's an end to these bad feelings. So how about we skip the bad feelings and just know that everything's going to be okay? Look for work if it makes you feel better. Look for change if it makes you feel better. But know that it's going to be okay. Really, really okay. And this is the sun. It's a 19. We put those together, we get our 10. So the feeling of backstabbing, it gets better. It's okay. And we end up with the sun. So you go from this place of losing, financial loss, hardships, having to tighten up the ship, hold on to what you got. Start looking for help. Realizing that, I'm tired of waiting. This feels like I've been lied to. I want clarity. And not getting the clarity that you want. It feels like an ending is brought from not getting the clarity. Having to have conversations that, listen, boy, oh boy. These are conversations that put you or just leave you in a place of panic because you're waiting. Feels like money's blocked or not being given as it should be. But then, bam, word comes in. Some other entity, situation brings about a change. And it sparks this courage. It feels like reaching, it feels like this situation right here brings you to a point of, I don't give a fuck. We have 10, we have 8, we have 1, we have 19. So I'm finished. I'm finished with this shit. And 1, this is a sudden, impulsive, it's about me. Fuck the dumb shit. I'm going forward with this. But oops, hey look. When that happens, you realize a decision has been made. Outside of your control even. And it's karma that kind of comes in and makes things happen. And out of that, you get some enjoyment. Oof. But it all looks good at the end of things. So do what you can to hold your head up high. Don't blow your money on silly things in January. And then, tighten up the ship because this is for January. Looks like at the end of January, things are looking up. This could be the second half of January. And I saw that once in the middle. Looks like the second half or maybe the first 2 weeks, it's stress. But it looks like after that, you can clearly see the light at the end of the tunnel. Things are getting good. I feel like you need some deeper advice after that. Let's see, advice for Leo. Oh, yes, exactly. All right. So you guys know you're ready to go forward. It is time to take that next step, get that next experience, and this situation gives you the boost to move you into that. So recognize that element of yourself in the middle of all things when you feel like you're just guessing. You feel like you have to submit to something. And you don't know what's going on. This is the time when the soul and the design of self is enhanced, where we make choices for ourselves. We're really thinking of the long and the short of it. We may even be doing research to make sure we're making proper decisions. Your guides want you to be mindful of emotional choices. But I feel like, all this that goes on gives you this spark. Puts you on a road to new things. Again, look at that. The loss becomes a lesson. Okay? In the meantime, focus on your health and align yourself with as much peace as you can. There's great realization here, right? So stay mindful. Do what you can to be content. Whatever you got to do to relax yourself. And know that it's going to be okay. Claim it. So looking back at the words, we've got like, it's like someone's bringing in something. And are we choosing that or power of the self? Tick, tick. It feels like a time situation. Tick, like TikTok. That's what it feels like to me. Perhaps they mean the word means something else to you. All right, Leo. Okay, Sag. All right. Sag, looks like you are dealing with, looks like January brings, my first thought is computer issues, dealing with systems, being surprised about things that they can do. I know that's weird. Okay, Sag. Looks like relationships of the past have brought in a change. And the change has left you tired. Like, because nothing's happening that you want to happen. This is dealing with deception. Feeling like you were tricked, bamboozled, run amok, led astray. And at this point, you can only go up from here. I see an end to believing in past. The word civilizations comes up, but I know that's not the word. You're not believing in something of the past. Ideas, ways of the past, because you realize their effect on you at the end of the day. It's left you like in defense mode, self-defense mode. So if this is regarding work, I see a message coming in. Wow. Here. You know, I'm going to turn these around so I can say this differently. Okay, well, at least it looks good here. Okay, we're going to have some issues, right? It's going to be some emotional times going on here. This does look like it involves work, partnerships, third-party group things that shit's not working. So we're getting a message from people we've been waiting to hear from. A message comes in that you've been waiting for. Feels like the start of something new. It should be. It should be a message regarding progress, going somewhere. What's going, new beginnings. What's happening here? But that message is not going anywhere. And it feels like there are two individuals here who are playing tit for tat is what I get. This feels like a battle above your head, higher ups. And it feels like, it's like one person wanting to do something with in a business affair, but another person is blocked. So it's like two people scrapping over things that are creating bad for the people underneath them. This could be bosses, could be company owners, could be people these are the check writers, or somebody who wants checks written and another one who wants to play games with chaos. But it looks like protection comes here. Okay? And when protection comes here, someone who is down to earth, resourceful, and trustworthy appears. The Emperor being here. This was in reverse. So this is you taking a new approach with this message. Realizing things ain't going nowhere. It's like having to watch people fight. Knowing they're battling, but they ain't doing shit. So it's like losing energy for a situation. Losing energy, not believing that this offer is coming through. Not believing that people are going to do what the fuck they say they're going to do. So we have the Knight of Wands here. And this gives you confidence, right? It puts you in a mode of being adventurous, daring. And this comes from being restless about all this shit right here. And there is strength in that for you. It's recognizing the lion energy of the self. And we block the bullshit of the past. This puts you into a king energy, Sagittarius. This puts you into a king energy. This is thinking, analyzing. Ethics. Work ethics. So it's tightening things up here. It's expressing the self, the page here. The page wants to have an effect, wants things to be practical. They want money. They want trust. This is recognizing, the king recognizes the greed in others. Oof. The king recognizes things being out of balance here for the negative. Sag, you're going to be realizing in the month of January who's been stealing from you, who you need to let walk away from your zone, or who you need to walk away from yourself. It's taking back power, realizing you've been nickeled and dimed. Not taking that shit anymore. Realizing even offers that sound good have strings attached. So we're looking at the all, looking at relationships, balances, partnerships. We're making decisions here, okay? And we may be seeing the end of something that was just, it wasn't feeling good, that's for sure. We're looking at this and we're saying, okay, I'm tired of this bullshit cycle. I see some pushing and pulling and back and forth going on here. Just, this feels like machine interaction, distraction. It feels like spending the month battling with technology. And there being people here who could be doing better but aren't. It's almost like they have control and power, but they don't know what to do with it except fight and turn their backs. And I just heard litigious. So this can be legal issues, court issues, lawsuits, paperwork, just a real test of the self. And it feels like piddly offers from people who could be giving more. It feels like, you know, it feels like imbalanced handouts from rich people. Moose. Back off the snore. Okay. Okay, let's get you some advice, Sag, because that's heavy. All right, so what comes right out here is your mental. We want to make sure we, do what you can to stay tough. Restoration is coming through, though. So we're realizing, hopefully, the lack of awareness in others. And you will be experiencing some dissatisfaction. And it just feels like dissatisfaction with others who promised things, promised growth, comfort. We are healing, transforming, being aware of others around you too at this time. So this also feels like we may be getting to know our neighbors a little bit better. Your guides want you to not worry. You are on the right path and you are well. Even in the face of all this bullshit, this is just testing of the self. But there is protection here. Even while watching idiots fight, battle. People fighting for power and control. 9 comes out here twice. Yeah. So while it was reversed, it does right itself. So new processes, influence, regulation comes through. A goal that you were promised or expected, it comes through. You realize new things. There's a process, though, to this. There's just, January feels like just going through the process and feeling very polarized. So watch your, aggressive energy elsewhere. If you are going through depression, please connect with an art or fitness, something to distract you. during this time in between the stress. Do your best, because people are going, this is a test of self, is the best thing I can say, a test of your inner strength and resolve. Oops. This just really feels like a test of inner resolve. And we may have to move towards new work. We may have to create our own opportunities because others are going to be in what's going to feel like cheater mode. Things are going to be not going as we expect. And there is a test in this because it's going to feel like you're not being heard. It's going to feel like, who are you supposed to be trusting here? Out of that, though, comes a godly element of self, Sagittarius. You're going to experience togetherness in groups. You'll be inspired to create. Through this comes wisdom of the self. Look at this, pop quiz, and then the test. I mean, it's just testing of the self. This is raising, evolving the mind, spirit, realizing, we've learned some things. Now it's time to apply them. And believe it or not, these emotional times in January, it's a spiritual path to awareness, enlightenment, luck. And your guides want you to stay on whatever your spiritual path is at this time, because that's going to help you get through this situation too. And it also feels like watching other people get their karma too. It's hard to, you're just going to be seeing other elements of humanity and yourself as we moved into what feels like unpredictable, blocked futures. You're gonna feel confined and fucked. But big changes come out of this. So please stay grounded and stay aware. This feels like reading, getting out, conversating with others. It feels like an opportunity to connect. I feel like we're all going to be connecting with each other in new ways we had not really imagined. So stay strong. Right. Be careful that you don't sit around thinking too hard about what's lacking. Look at what you do have. And alone isn't lonely. Strengthening the self. Be cognizant of chasing lust and simplified wants. There will be fears and blocked feelings here. But, there's an imbalance, yes, but certain things get extinguished. So work on stability in mind. Get your rest. New plans, new foundations come out of this. And you must believe in yourself here, because you are moving into a new cycle. Be very careful of impulsive decision making. Watch those quick decisions. They're not good. Think and think some more. At the bottom of the deck, though, is pure fucking choice, Sagittarius. So you do have options. You're not without options. This is a good thing. But you may be choosing in the month of January to, not let go of certain situations where you feel like someone has turned their back on you. Watch that cycle, because you may be choosing to repeat. When there is an opportunity to move forward, stay in protection, because it is with you. You're just going to be discovering the bad ways of other groups around you. So we want to be aware that abundance is on the other side of this. It's right here. But we have to have this deep knowledge of self. And that may come in this quiet time. So we look at that. Again, this card doesn't even belong in this deck, but here it is. So we want to avoid errors. Avoid making those errors. And we take tests, right? Because life is testing at this time. Oh, yes, you are being tested. And you may even be getting tested by a machine. You may be having to make calls a lot and pressing buttons on a machine. And it's going to be frustrating. Just breathe. Make sure you have a hobby, something you enjoy doing. When you have quiet time, whether it's a book or something else. I don't know. But here, you have choice. These blank tiles are having options. It's seeing things for what they are. Divine intervention. Divine interference. Being in our head. Be careful of that. Because at the end of it all, you've got options. Everybody doesn't have those. All right. That was a lot. Okay. Whew. Sag. Goodness. Aries, Leo, Sag. Fire, fire, fire. There will be fire for you. So hold on tight. Know that, it's going to be, might be a wavy first half of January, but coming out of it, it's looking okay. All right? Let's knock out a collective for everyone here. All right, collective, we want to stay clear. Woof. All right, let's just get you some angel guidance for this one, because I think we did this reading a couple of times here. And the cue, I feel like that's just questioning things. So stay clear, stay logical. Oof. Be mindful of what is an illusion and what is real. Stay aware, stay in a place of love. Remember, feeling overpowered may be what it takes to spark passion, to make moves forward. Look at this. So we have passion, we have out of, dealing with the destructive nature of others. We want to be careful of how we're in our head because we may be forming thoughts that ain't 100% all the way, you may not have all the data yet. So be clear on what data you take in at this time. So we want to be careful of whatever data we take in at this time. Understand that abundance is coming your way. We may have to work on staying peaceful on the inside. Actions toward the self. Find creative things to do with yourself at this time. Might be the time you discover or decide to launch a new business too. This is the time of the self. This is actions for the self, seeing things for what they are and getting a hold of your divinity and making use of it. There's a test here at the end, and it involves love of self and awareness. Fire sign right there. So this is getting energy for moves. Breaking cycles. This is good. New approach. Gaining wisdom. Your guides want you to get off of the distractions. That's staying clear. And at the end, loving ourselves. That looks awesome. That looks great. Wow. All right. I hope that was helpful for you, dear collective. Aries, Leo, and Sag. That is your message. All right. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you did enjoy it. If you hated it, you can check the other one too. I don't care. But definitely subscribe so that you can be included in my future collective readings as well as my live readings where you can get something a little more personalized, right? I hope your holidays are wonderful, and I wish you nothing but beauty and peace and love and abundance. Thank you for being here. Until next time, I'm Psi Divine. I wish you love, light, and divinity